Kia ora, welcome to Future of Tech. This is our web series where we talk about emerging technologies, their social and business impact. So today's topic, 5G. Matt, you've been doing quite a bit of research into this. So, what is 5G?
Cool. I mean, 5G is a really kind of hot geopolitical issue at the moment. I'm sure a lot of people will have heard about it. Essentially, 5G is just an upgrade of the mobile connectivity standards that we had with 4G. So 5G is going to bring faster download speed, you're going to get increased response time, and you're able to connect a greater density of devices. So this ever-growing collection of internet-connected devices that we have in the world is going to be able to support that.
Yeah. Brilliant. So that sounds like a lot of pros. Are there any cons?
Yeah, so the kind of interesting thing, so the technology is based primarily around using shorter wavelengths to transmit the information. So, the disadvantage of using these shorter wavelengths is that they don't go through objects very well. So they don't go through walls well, they don't go through trees well, they don't go through people very well either. What that means is that the actual range that the signals can be transmitted is much shorter. So with 4G, we would have one cell tower and it would transmit over a wide kind of range. With 5G, we're talking about maybe a block of houses is what one 5G cell tower might do.
So it's a lot shorter.
It's a lot smaller. So you'll be thinking about like lamp posts and maybe like electrical boxes. They might put the towers there.
So just really regular intervals.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They can be much smaller as well because it actually needs smaller antenna.
Yeah. What sort of applications would come out of this?
Yeah, and so I mean the obvious one that, to be fair, I don't think is the most exciting is faster mobile download speeds. And potentially they're looking at using the same technology as a replacement to fibre, so you could connect your box, your modem could be connected to the 5G network and then give you Wi-Fi instead of actually needing some sort of hard cable into the box. But again, when we talk about the download speeds, so much faster than 4G. For a movie, you're thinking about like 5 seconds to download a movie versus 5 minutes. Now, to be fair, a lot of the movies that we watch nowadays, in today's world, you're looking at like a YouTube or some sort of streaming service, right?
Yeah.
Very rarely are you actually downloading movies unless you're doing it illegally.
Game of Thrones.
One of the most pirated TV shows of all time.
Yeah.
And so, realistically, if you have to wait 5 seconds for your pirated movie, I hardly think that's tragic.
Yeah.
And for everyone else that are streaming movies, it's happening instantly anyway. You just start it and it's downloading way faster than what you're watching. So yeah, like I say, not particularly amazing. The faster download speeds. There are some potential kind of niche applications. I think we talked about that in the document around like virtual reality and kind of augmented reality could need big kind of download speeds. But I think some of the real interesting stuff is like the fast response time. So when you think about download speed, that's how much data can you actually get through the pipe. When we think about response time, it's how fast can you actually get that data back. So when you click something on a website, how fast are you getting that response back. On 4G, we were thinking about a 20 millisecond response time, which is very fast. I think that's about the reaction speed of a human being anyway. 5G, it would be about 1 to 4 milliseconds, which as a magnitude is much faster. But particularly for real-time artificial intelligence, so driverless cars, for example, they need to be able to respond very fast. So someone walks in front of the car, signal senses that, goes up somewhere into the car or whatever, decides what defensive action needs to be taken, and then sends the signal back to say, this is what we need to do. And so you can imagine that actually those milliseconds do have a big impact on actually the car's ability to avoid, situations.
Yes, impact. You would hope that would be as fast as possible.
Completely, And so the other one is when I talked about being able to connect a much larger density of devices. That's when we're thinking about this kind of ever-growing number of devices that we have. In the past, you might have had one computer. Now you've got a computer, a tablet, a mobile phone. Your watch is connected. Your eyewear might even be connected. And so we're talking about the Internet of Things.
Yeah.
So it's all these kind of new devices, and particularly ones which maybe they don't need a direct kind of connection to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You're not surfing the web, but they still use an internet connection. So something like the fridge ordering the food for you, which is
Uber Eats from my fridge would be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you wouldn't even need a fridge, would you?
No.
Yeah. And where I think some of this stuff is really interesting, because there's a lot of talk about it in kind of household appliances and stuff, and I mean, I don't really know why you need your kettle and your toaster or whatever connected, but where I think is interesting is more the kind of commercial aspects. So in manufacturing kind of things, they have all sorts of sensors, and it's all giving you data around efficiency and that kind of stuff. But also on like farms, and so you might be measuring the different nitrate levels in different parts of the soil, or whatever. Don't quote me on that. I'm certainly not a farm expert, but you can see that there might be value in having an array of sensors on different aspects of the farm. Actually, there's that New Zealand startup.
Yeah, Halter.
They've got the cow collars.
Yeah.
So you could consider something like that would be like Internet of Things. You don't necessarily need really fast response times like driverless cars. You don't need big download speeds. But what you need is to be able to connect a whole lot of devices all at once.
Yeah. Very cool. So that's quite exciting. But how far away are we from actually seeing it in our everyday lives?
Yeah. Okay. So I think the earliest kind of prediction that people are making is 2020.
Okay.
That's what Spark in New Zealand is kind of gunning for. But there's a lot of things that need to happen to actually get there, and I'm not convinced that they're going to happen, particularly with some of the kind of geopolitical stuff that we've going on. Obviously in New Zealand, we had the decision from the GCSB, our spy agency, to basically put the brakes on Spark using Huawei, which is a Chinese company, and they are the clear leader in 5G technology at the moment.
I hear that Trump's quite concerned about Huawei.
Right, yeah. So that's the other real thing, where you've got the trade war between America and China, and 5G is big business. They're talking $500 billion could be the economic benefit of actually being the country to lead the rollout of the 5G network. And so, essentially, the superpowers are like, hey, look, we want to be the ones to do this. China's winning. Trump, basically said that American companies aren't allowed to use China, Huawei, to put their software on. So basically, Huawei phones potentially would not be allowed to use Google Maps, any kind of Google software, Facebook, all that kind of stuff that a lot of people are using and relying on, and that's just the apps that they use. And so would certainly put the brakes on the rollout of 5G phones or 5G network phones and that kind of stuff.
Although there was also that article from AT&T. They have apparently got a 5G network going.
So AT&T, big kind of American company, telecommunication company, they decided they were going to brand the kind of 4GE technology. So it's kind of an improvement on 4G technology. It's mainly been called 4GE for evolution. They decided they would actually change, instead of calling it 4GE, they would change it to call it 5GE. So actually no change in actually the service or anything at all, but now they're calling the technology 5GE. And so people woke up and suddenly their phone was on a 5GE network.
And with that, I think it's a good place to wrap it up. So thank you for watching. If you're interested in a new topic, we'll be back here again next week. See you there.